Hey everybody! So welcome to my first viewers comments video in far too long. I haven't done one of these since August. I've just been playing the catch-up game for the entire month of September, and I'm not even close to getting anywhere near the amount of stuff I want to get done, but hey, that's, you know, life gets in the way. Anyway, so this is long overdue, so this is going to be a slightly longer episode. I have turned off the teleprompter for this episode. You guys really seem to like it when I just do the viewers comments videos off the cuff. So bear with me. Hopefully I don't say too much. Before we jump into it, I just want to say, if you're looking to support the channel or you just want a really fucking funny as hell t-shirt, I do have the Rule Number 2 shirts in stock. They're fucking awesome. They've been selling all over the world. Get yours. I will have more mediums and larges in very, very soon. I've also got the Stop Cupping the Mic Dumbasses in shirts in stock. Got tons of those. I've also got the Dynamic Surf for Pussies shirt, and 1, 2, 3, 4, this shirt is smarter than your drummer. And the one about the 40 amp Sims does not make you a great guitar player. So please, if you want to support the channel, please buy one. I also want to give a great big shout out to, let me make sure I get the name right here, Technical Sergeant Stephen Cho, the non-commissioned officer in charge, Combat Arms 374th Security Forces Squadron. Apparently he's a great big fan of the show and gave Hoogie a great big hand when Shinedown recently played in Japan. So I just want to say, hey dude, thank you so much for watching. That's fucking awesome. And please keep watching. You guys fucking rock. Anyway, first question.
Attention! Long-haired adult comic book store, metal band musician, guitar store employee / studio engineer nerd. If you're still playing a tired, hilariously cliche and dorky genre like the metal music featured in these videos, please refrain from pretending you're a genius. You are an adult playing a dead and antiquated form of adolescent rage music and a huge nerd. Metal is not relevant. Adult nerds with metal hair should not be sources of music mice lessons. Very angry and elitist opinions from someone who specializes in playing power chords and alternate tunings.
Metal is dorky. Have you looked at the shit that the music industry is churning out these days? What? Metal's dorky compared to what? Miley Cyrus? Fuck off, asshole. Seriously. Okay, I'm a nerd. You know what? Guilty as fucking charged. Yes, I am a nerd. I like Star Wars. I like comic books. I like manga. I like fucking anime. I like all kinds of nerdy shit. You know what? I'm going to be standing in line opening night to watch episode 7 while reading fucking manga on my fucking tablet. That's how fucking nerdy I am. And you know what? Proud of it too, because it's nerds that make the fucking world go round. You know, it was nerds that found liquid water on the surface of Mars while you cool people were concerned about Caitlyn Jenner's latest bowel movement. Like, seriously, if it wasn't for us fucking nerds, there'd be no internet. You couldn't send your dick pics anywhere. If it wasn't for us nerds, you wouldn't have music to listen to because somebody had to figure out how to record that shit. Why do people insist on putting down smart people? I don't fucking get that for a minute. And no, I am not elitist in the slightest sense. You know, I have much in common with the kid in his bedroom recording. In fact, the only difference between me and the average kid working out of his bedroom right now is the fact I've been doing it a lot longer. And that's why I've got this pile of gear beside me, is because I've taken what money I have made in recording and invested it back. I've just been doing it for a very, very long time, but I am still very much a working class recording engineer and a nerd and proud of it. And you know what? I'm happy to be called a nerd because I know I'm in good company. I'd rather be a nerd than a cool person any day of the week.
Hey Glenn, do you know any good USB mics for electric guitar?
Dude, seriously, I really can't recommend any USB mics for electric guitar. Most of them are condensers and kind of unsuitable. You're better off getting an SM57 and, you know, maybe an inexpensive interface like one of the PreSonus models. I really want to do a review on one of these someday and just take a look at some of the inexpensive 2-channel USB interfaces and preamps and that kind of thing. You know, the Tascams, the PreSonus models, and just that sort of thing. So look for those in the future because I do want to help the guys with really small budgets out, but I can't recommend USB mics. They're more for voice recording than instrument recording. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but at least that's how I feel about it anyway.
Hey Glenn, I follow your YouTube channel since a couple of months and I really enjoy almost all your videos. Total respect. Now I have a question for you. How did you get that bass guitar tone for the song Eagle Has Landed? What are the tricks behind that frequency full, clear, and powerful sound? It totally kicks ass. I hope I don't get on a stupid text video, ha ha ha. Cheers.
The Eagle Has Landed was an interesting track. That's the reason I called it The Eagle Has Landed, is because I've been trying to get that guitar sound for years, and it was literally my moonshot. I had put a fucking man on the moon, personally anyway, as far as my guitar tone was concerned. And when I got that tone, I just wrote the heaviest fucking riff imaginable that I could come up with anyway. And that's how that song came about. But that was just basically, you know, dumb luck. That was a 5150 for guitars anyway. It was a 5150 into a Mesa cabinet and a single SM57 into an API 512C. Bass guitar was just a bass with a Sans amp. And these days I'm kind of more inclined towards the Dark Glass Microtubes B7K. But ultimately, to get a great tone like that, you have to rely on yourself and a lot of experimentation, a lot of A/B tests, and find your own answers, because you're going to find what works for you, because it all really depends on the room you're in, the particular amp you've got. But, you know, watch my how to record heavy guitar videos, watch my how to record heavy bass videos for a guideline, for a basic outline on how to do it. But it all really comes down to you and just experimenting and finding what works for you the best.
Hey Glenn, what do I do if I feel like I'm failing myself as a musician and as a person? I have always aspired to be a recording engineer, but as of lately I have felt as if I have wasted the past 6 years of my life and countless thousands of dollars on equipment that will rot away with me.
Yeah, dude, I share your pain, man. I've definitely gone through that a few times. You know, here I am 16 years in, and, you know, sometimes I'm scratching my head, you know, have I failed myself as a musician? Well, hey, I accepted a long time ago I was never going to be Yngwie Malmsteen, you know, so I play some simple guitar stuff and concentrate far more on the engineering end of things, because that's something I'm not half bad at. But, you know, getting that feeling of not getting anywhere and am I wasting my time? You know, pursuing music is never a waste of time, even if you don't strike it rich. I mean, like, it's a great pursuit. You know, it's like comic book guy at the end of the Simpsons movie. I've spent my entire life collecting comics. Life well spent. You know, you can't go wrong. I mean, because eventually, you know, if you're running a small studio, every now and then you do get a project that comes in that just blows your hair back, and it's like the most amazing experience ever. I've had that happen several times over the course of my career, where everything just clicked and, you know, we got to make fucking magic. Those are few and far between. Most of the time you're dealing with rule number 2, but every now and then you get something in that's just amazing, and it is oh so worth it. So stick it out. And, you know, if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, just remember it's a good hobby. If you can't make a career out of it, make a hobby out of it and love what you do.
Your audience will never know the difference from expensive Fender versus made Mexico one.
Fender basses, yes. I completely agree with this, and truth be told, I've got a really cheap Fender Mexican jazz bass guitar that just sounds ferocious. It was the best $200 I ever spent. I found one of the local classifieds, and the kid who had it had no idea what he had. He had flat wounds on it, you know, a really bad neck job, like it was almost a U shape. It was bad. So I took it home, gave it some love, you know, set it up correctly, new strings, cleaned up the frets, cleaned up the neck, everything, and the guitar just fucking sings, and I use it all the time. And that was the bass guitar I wound up using on The Eagle Has Landed. So there you go. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Fender Mexican Jazzes. I highly fucking recommend them, actually. They're just fantastic. I've actually had bass players come into the studio with American Jazzes and ask if they could trade for my Mexican. And I'm like, nope, I'm not fucking giving that one up for anything. I'm a huge fan of the Fender Jazz series, and yeah, the Mexicans are just fantastic sounding instruments, and there's absolutely no shame in having one of those.
I showed my bass player friend, who is also religious and plays for his church's band, your videos. He laughed and asked to see more. Guess some people have a sense of humor.
Okay, that's really cool. I'd like to say hi to your friend, and just want to get something really straight here. A lot of my friends are Christians. I was a Christian at one time. I was Presbyterian, and you know, just basically grew away from the religion. The older I get, the more fucked up I see how religion is. It's just, that's what wisdom is, I suppose. I know most Christians are generally decent people who want to help the world. One of my very best friends in college went on to become a minister in a church. And, you know, I just love giving him the gears. It's like, oh, how are you going to gloss over the fact your God is a murdering asshole this week? Anyway. Here's the thing, though, okay, about the sense of humor thing. Because if you're a Christian, you're going to need one. Because really, the joke's on you. Because if you're a good Christian and you follow the teachings of Jesus and you beg for forgiveness and all that jazz, just look at you get to spend eternity with the likes of Jerry Falwell, Fred Phelps, David Koresh, and the soundtrack is going to be by Sunseed. Remember those guys?
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend of mine. I have a friend in Jesus. Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend.
I want to hear that song for eternity. Yeah, good luck getting that song out of your head today, guys.
Agreed. I took the logo off my Bugera V22 and replaced it with a Dr. Z logo, and you should have heard the other guitarist raving about how good my tone was. Case and point.
Oh, the label thing. That is fucking brilliant, and you know what? That is so fucking true. In case you guys didn't figure out, yes, I'm kind of a big fan of Penn and Teller bullshit, and one of my favorite episodes is when they took on the wine snobs, and basically they took these fucking, these fucking absolute fucking wankers of fucking wine critics and gave them the cheapest $2 rot gut they could find and just put it into different bottles with different labels and watch these assholes fall all over themselves. How one was so much better than the other. It's such fucking bullshit because we do, I'll quote Obi-Wan Kenobi here. Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them. Okay, listen with your ears, not your eyes. That's the best advice I can give. So yes, the thing with the switching the nameplate out, I absolutely fucking believe that 100% because people will follow all over themselves for a name. That's the only reason I can explain why people buy so much crap from Apple.
Hello, just asking, what is your viewpoint on Floyd Rose Bridges? Excuse my bad English.
I saw Floyd Rose last year at NAMM, and I didn't go say hi to him because I didn't know if I was going to shake his hand or if I was going to punch him. They're an interesting invention, and Floyds are great when you've got them set up correctly. But I've definitely wasted more than a few hours, readjusting Floyds in the studio, trying to fucking do some work with them. But they're, somebody changed a string gauge at the last minute, or we changed tunings or whatnot, and then you got to spend who knows how fucking long trying to get the thing back into trim to fucking play a fucking song. So generally, I avoid Floyds like the plague in the studio when it comes to rhythm tone. Anyway, leads maybe a little bit different, but I much prefer a straight bridge when it comes to tracking heavy rhythms in the studio. Live, do what the fuck you want, but Floyds are great. Just setting them up, they're absolute motherfuckers. So, hey, thanks a lot, Floyd. Thanks for wasting so much of my time. I really appreciate that. You rule, dude. By the way, I'm kidding about the punching, Floyd. I'm an absolute non-violent person. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't go say hi to Floyd.
What are you drinking over there? Organic Miller?
No, what I'm drinking here is actually, it's not Miller. This is a Canadian brand, where we make real beer. This is called Mill Street. This is a Toronto brand, local brand I got turned on to a couple of years ago from my friends in college. It's Mill Street Organic Lager. It is the cleanest beer I've ever drank. It is just great. And I am not a big beer drinker. This stuff I can stomach, it doesn't taste like you're chewing on a piece of bread. It's really fucking nice.
Brutal honesty is not welcome in journalism, period. This is something I know a bit about as I have worked for two of the biggest media companies in North America, both in a news or a reporter position. Basically, the attitude is if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Now, my choice of outlet for my opinion is YouTube. Honesty, from a guy who has been in the inside of the business, everyone is sycophant trying to boost their career. I personally appreciate the honesty even when it clashes with my own opinion because, well, it's honest. I'll take brutal honesty over a tender lie any day of the week.
Basically, I give my opinion because I have to be able to live with myself. I have to be able to sleep at night, and I just can't do it. I can't sit there and give you guys bald-faced lies about equipment because I've got to look at myself in the mirror every day. I think the whole thing with the Fearless gear reviews might be a little overdue, judging by the response I got, because it seems like a lot of you guys out there are a little tired of having, smoke blown up your asses when it comes to equipment reviews, and maybe a little honesty is long overdue. Anyway, we'll see what happens with it. I'm going to continue on. In a few weeks, we're going to do like episode 2. And Fearless Gear Reviews is not going to be about trashing equipment. It's just going to be about giving a real honest opinion on what I think of something and giving examples to let you guys make up your own minds. A few of you guys criticize me for lack of technical terminology when it comes to a gear review, and I figure that's fucking pointless. I'd rather just give you guys sound samples and let you make up your own minds.
Hi, Hoogie! Fuck you, Glenn.
Little Arsehole 75. Well, dude, you certainly live up to your name, don't you?
What's up, Glenn? Gotta check out the Beck anime. Sounds pretty cool. I can play a really crappy version of the Trigun anime theme song. My question for the next viewer's comments, what other anime would you recommend that you personally like?
Pull up a chair, kids. It's gonna get fucking nerdy in here. All right, been watching a shit ton of anime, as always. Yeah, my buddy Brandon Wright from Final Stage, he turned me on to Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. Oh, that was so good. If you haven't ever watched anime and you're curious, start with Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. It's a rock and roll anime, and it's fantastic. And it deals with a lot of the bullshit you deal with when you're in a band. It's just, it's very true to life in a lot of respects, and the fucking music's actually quite good. So there you go. Yes, that cover, we are working on it, and it will be out probably mid-November, I'm hoping. Scheduling, that's all I can say. Anyway, what have I watched recently that's been really cool? Steins Gate. Watched that. That was absolutely fantastic. Great story. Great storytelling. Mirai Nikki, otherwise known as the English translation was Future Diary. Again, that's a total mindfuck of a show. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Yeah, Knights of Sidonia, both seasons. Second season wasn't nearly as good as the first, in my opinion. That's on Netflix. Pretty good regardless. Other ones I'd recommend, High School of the Dead, Titties and Zombies, how can you go wrong? Gurren Lagann, Death Note, yeah... Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There's just so much great shit out there. And I'm always looking to check out new titles. So if you guys have suggestions for anime I should be checking out, believe me, I am all ears. You know, I've got a pretty long list of stuff I do want to watch. But I've seen quite a bit now. So, you know, we'll just see how it goes. I should really do possibly a dedicated anime episode one of these days. We can just kind of discuss what's coming out. And we'll go from there. Speaking of what's coming out, yeah, I just started watching Prison School. That shit is fucking hilarious. Yeah, if you're looking to check something out that's new, yeah, Prison School, I gotta give them credit. That really made me laugh my ass off. Okay. So that's it for this one. This one was kind of a bit longer. Like I said, I've been really overdue with putting one of these out. But before I go, I want to give a shout out to one more person, my good friend Bridget Klingbeil, who unfortunately was just recently diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And as somebody who's experienced MS in their family, it's a real motherfucker. And I think she's going to have a real rough ride coming up ahead. And I can't think of any person who deserves it less. She's just a wonderful person. I've worked with her before. She's a country musician. I got to do my one country record. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Anyway, Bridget's just this really wonderful person, and she's trying to raise a few bucks to do one more album while she's still physically able to. So if you guys want to help out a musician who's actually trying to give it everything they got while they still can, she's got a GoFundMe campaign going on. If you can throw her a couple bucks, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to throw her a couple bucks myself. Anyway, that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Keep coming with those suggestions and comments. I love the episode suggestions. Believe me, keep those coming, and I'll keep making content. Take care, guys. Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is a friend of mine.